Our top speed was 15 miles an hour, or 14.8.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah. Stay in the middle. All right, and get some speed on you because we're about to go uphill, that big hill.
What's up, everybody? Flip here, EUC Chronicles back with another goodie. How's everybody doing? Before we get started, let me send my apologies to everybody that I didn't get to hang out with for Cobra's rally. I feel really bad that I didn't get to go. I messed up with the dates. I had everything all backwards, and what really drove everything home was when I saw Cobra's live stream when he was like, I think he said 3 more days left or 4 more days to the rally. And I'm like, what? How? I just was not paying attention with all that was going on in my life. I just completely lost track that the rally was coming up on last Sunday. And it just took me by surprise, and I didn't have enough time to get ready. I wanted to bring my son with me. I wanted to take him out and practice and do some more drills before I brought him, because I just felt bad driving up to Massachusetts and leaving him home all day while I go to have fun with my EUC buddies. You know what I'm saying? At least I would like to bring him, even if he didn't want to ride, just to bring him with me to hang out and chill and just kind of maybe film in the background or something like that, or fly the drone around. But like I said, it just came up on me way too fast, and I didn't have time to get ready. I also was going to rent a car because I didn't want to drive my car, because I was planning on bringing some of the Electric City Rider guys with me. And by the time I even went to Enterprise to see if there's anything available, there wasn't anything available there was some at the other spots, but the one that's basically by my house, it wasn't available. So that's just another hassle of having to drive to Albany or something like that. So I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm just not gonna go. I also saw that U-Stride didn't go either, so I was like, all right, at least I wasn't the only one that was planning on going and didn't make it, you know what I'm saying? But I feel bad because I was talking to a lot of guys who were going and we're planning to see each other, and because we only know each other through YouTube and whatever, so I feel bad. But like I said, it just snuck up on me, and hey man, next year, I'll be there. But we're also, the Electric City Riders are planning an event here in Albany, October 1st through the 2nd, I believe, or through the 3rd. I think it's the 1st to the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever that Saturday and Sunday is. I know Friday they're meeting up as well. They're doing a ride, but the official group ride doesn't start till Saturday. And I know I said I was going to link that in the description for the last video. I didn't do that, so I will do that this time. At least link the Facebook page so you guys can see what's going on if you're in the area, if you're free. I know there's a lot of events going on, so I know it's hard to just pick up and go. But if you are available and free to come down that weekend, please do. I'm definitely going to be there for that. My son's going to be there for that. And we're just going to ride and hang out. I don't know how much of the group I'm going to be with, because I'm going to be pacing myself with my kid. But I'll be there nonetheless. So again, my apologies, and hopefully you guys can make it out to that. Now, for what you're watching, we finally made it out to the bike trail. I've been testing him and running drills with him in all these, the Walmart parking lot and the schoolyard and all these empty places, where we got to practice. I know last year you saw us riding in the road just a little bit, but that was also a very, very quiet road. Most cars don't ride down there. But I've been meaning to take him to the bicycle trail and really give him a test. And this bicycle trail, as smooth as the road looks, on both sides there are huge drops into water. And you know, one side has like an 8-foot drop into water, the other one has like a 6-foot drop. At least about 75% of this bike trail is a hazard. Right after those bushes that you're looking at right there drops right into water. That's it, you know. And I was explaining to him about how, you know, it's important, you know, not to ride too fast, and you know, if you do have to dismount, how to dismount, how not to let your wheel just roll off, because it will roll off if you don't, you know, if you just hop off of it and let it go. And I showed him videos beforehand about what happens to wheels. We watched a lot of EUC crash videos just so he can get it in his head what happens when you do fall, and you know, sometimes the wheel will get away from you. Like right here, it's fine, it's mostly bushes on that right hand side, but on the left hand side, to me, it is all water. We diverted off the bike trail a little bit. Like where you're seeing right now, we're actually off the bike trail. We're on like the road to the right of the bike trail, but we get back on it. But we were just, you know, I was taking him through the paces, man, and just first of all, just seeing, you know, if he can handle himself being on a kind of confined space. You see now there's a car going by, and you know, even for me, when I first started riding, when cars started driving by, I would get a little nervous and squirrely with you know, my riding. So I just wanted to take him through the paces and you know, let him experience what it's like to be out in a setting where it's not controlled. You know, you have people coming, walking the dogs, you have other bicyclists flying by you, and you know, even just learning the whole on your left thing. You know, when you hear somebody saying on your left, you know, that's where the side that they're passing you on, so stay on your side. And you know, the first time he screwed that up. Somebody said on your left and he swerved right into the left lane, but it was cool that the biker was fine, cool about it. And I told him, I was like, see, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's rules to the road even when you're not on the road, you know. So he learned all that pretty fast, and we ended up going on a 7.3 mile ride, which is really, really good. I didn't expect us to ride that far. I had basically a destination in mind because I know this bike trail very well. You guys have seen this in many videos. So I knew exactly where I wanted to go and where I wanted to turn around at. And I didn't turn my app on, and neither did he. Like, when we first got there, we went for like a little over a half-mile ride in the opposite direction of the bike trail, because that side, it was basically off the road, and it's way off the road. So there's no water on both sides. It's just grass. It's just a really easy, you know, bike trail with some turns and swerves, some little bit of hills. But I figured, let me take him on that first and just see how he fares with that. We maybe pass about 2 pedestrians that entire half mile. And then we came back, and then when we got back, since he did so well, I was like, all right, let's go on the real bike trail, and you know, let's try it out and see how you fare. And he did very, very, very well. I'm very impressed. I mean, I'm not surprised, because we have been practicing for a while, and I could have easily pushed him a long time ago, but because he's never really fallen before or anything like that, I'm really trying to ease him into everything as slow and safely as possible. Also, I want to get him more gear. I definitely want to get him a chest protector and shoulder protectors, because like I said, he doesn't have that experience I have with falling. Like, you know, I've been riding BMX since a kid, and I've busted my ass many a times growing up. So I'm well used to falling and rolling and getting hurt. Him, on the other hand, not so much. So I would definitely want to get him more gear to keep him protected as much as possible, as well as a full face. And that's the other reason why we're riding so slow. Like, our top speed for this entire ride was 15 miles, almost 15. It was like 14 point something, whatever it was in the video at the beginning. And there's a reason why we ended up going that fast, because to be honest, I wasn't really trying to go over like 9 miles an hour with him. But unfortunately, you know, it rained earlier that day. As you can see, the ground is wet. And I was checking the weather periodically just to make sure everything was cool. And before we went out for that ride, it said that the sun was out and there was no more rain for the rest of the day. So I was like, all right, cool. And I kind of rushed him. I was like, yo, come on, let's go. Let's get it right in now. And the weather was fairly nice. The wind was blowing about 15 miles an hour. You know, we had some gusts here and there, but it was decent for riding. As we got to the halfway point, I'm, you know, talking to him, we're joking around, and I look up at the clouds and I'm like, yo, those clouds don't look friendly at all. Those definitely look like rain clouds. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so I whip my phone out, and it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I whip my phone out, and it says at 5 o'clock, you have a 40% chance of rain. And I'm like, dude, come on. Because where we are on that bike trail, as you see, there's no overhangs. There's nothing we can hide behind. If it rains on us, we're stuck. We're stuck out there, and we're getting poured on. So at that moment, I was like, yo, listen, we got to barrel ass back to the car. You know, we're 3.5 miles plus away from the truck. We need to go right now. And, you know, on the way to the halfway point, we took stops every now and then so he can rest his feet and all that stuff. And on the way back, we did none of that. And we just barreled ass as fast and safely as we possibly could back. And that's when we hit the 14-mile-an-hour point with him. And he also got introduced to Mr. Speed Wobbles because he's never gone that fast before. Mr. Speed Wobbles definitely introduced himself to him, and he didn't fall. Everything was fine, but he just got to experience. He thought it was the wind that was making him wobble. I'm like, no, that's the higher speed that you're going at. Your muscles aren't, you know, used to it, and you're in a lot of the ride, he was bending his legs a little bit too much, because I always kept telling him to make sure your legs are bent. That way, if a bump or something comes up, you're prepared for it. But I think he was bending his legs a little bit too much. So I had to demonstrate to him, like, even with my wheel, if I bent my legs a lot while I'm going at a certain speed, you will see that there's a little bit of wobbles there too. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it. I was like, yeah, you don't be afraid to stiffen up your legs a little bit to, you know, prevent yourself from those wobbles. But nonetheless, Mr. Speed Wobbles definitely introduced himself properly to him a few times. And actually, you'll see it in the video later on when we're like going up the hill. He's trying to, like, you know, go a little faster. But we started, you can see the clouds right above us right now. And we started getting raindrops falling on us a little bit, so that would definitely maybe want to speed up the pace a little bit more. But we made it back safely. We avoided the rain. We went just fast enough to beat the clouds, which is what I wanted. I just didn't want to be stuck under the rain clouds, you know, and we definitely did that. But he did extremely well, and I'm really, really happy and proud of him. And like I said, I didn't plan on going that far. I definitely didn't plan on doing it. Maybe I wanted to do like a 3 mile, which is like, you know, 3 or 4 miles at the most. Like go 2 miles in and then ride 2 miles back. But he was doing so well, and he was so comfortable on his wheel. I was like, all right, let's just keep going, because I know all the spots along the way, you know. But it was also fun too. Like, he got to enjoy the bike path and the water, and he stopped and took pictures and all that stuff. And I was telling him that's the other joy about having an EUCs, that you get to go on these adventures and explore places you normally wouldn't get to explore. Because even if we walk that bike path, we're not going to walk 7 miles on the bike path, especially with my back the way it is. There's no way I can even pull that off, you know. And you know, even around your own neighborhood and stuff like that, because now we can definitely get to explore more, that he's really comfortable. He did really well. Like, even when, you know, when there's people coming by and passing, he definitely learned, you know, how to get out the way and kind of keep an eye out for small dogs and squirrels and things. He almost ran over a frog on the way back. He was like, oh man, I didn't, you know. So it's just little things like that. But I'm totally happy. He did very, very well, extremely well, in my opinion, especially with some of the dangers that he had to deal with. Well, not necessarily deal with, but that were present the entire ride. And he held his own. He definitely held his own. So we're going to start doing more bicycle trail drills. There's plenty of them around town, and some of them don't have as much danger lurking on both sides. I mean, the further in we go, no matter what, there's going to be water. At least from all the bike trails I've been on, there's going to be water and there's going to be drops. But there are some of them downtown, which, you know, it's a little bit more safer. And not that I'm worried about him falling off his wheel, or it's just more so just thinking about the unknown and being prepared for it. And I just don't want to be in a situation where we have to try to drag one of these wheels up a, you know, 8-foot cliff or something like that, you know, if something does go wrong. So you expect to see more videos to some degree. I know these videos aren't as exciting for everybody else, because I'm not really talking about new wheels or anything like that, but it's extremely exciting for me to, you know, get him to the point where he's enjoying these rides and we can go and explore and get away and get out of the house, more than just hopping in the car and driving to the mall or driving to the shopping center or whatever the case may be, you know. And you know, it was for me, I got a huge kick out of it, and he enjoyed himself too. You know, he was a little cold on the way back. As you see him throwing his hoodie on right there, he got a little cold on the way back, but that's something that I have to anticipate and I didn't expect it to be that as cold as it was. When we left the house, it was really, really warm. But as soon as those clouds came in, it got fairly cold. So his hands were getting cold, his ears were getting cold. So I have to bring a few more things in the book bag to make sure that he's comfortable. Like for me, I don't mind. I've rode in all types of weather and I can handle it. But now I have to think about what he's going through, and it doesn't seem like a big deal when you're doing a 7-mile ride. But Mr. Speed Wobbles, Mr. Speed Wobbles right there, introducing himself, just saying hello. It happened a few times when coming up this hill because he was going a little fast. But you see how much he's bending his knees, and I told him he has to stiffen up a little bit to kind of negate the wobbles. But yeah, I have to kind of think ahead now and bring some extra layers for him, or God forbid we get in a situation where we get stuck or a wheel goes down, that we're always prepared. So that's going to be my new thing now, is just making sure I have everything I need to make sure that he's good. And you know, his wheel can definitely handle it. So we're going to be doing a lot more and longer rides fairly soon. But like I said, my apologies if this wasn't a super exciting video for you guys. I wanted to talk about, you know, some of the new wheels, well, the new EX and all this stuff, but I'll save that for another video, because we can go on about that for days. But the long and short of it is there's so many wheels out, and the longer I wait, the happier I get for the fact that I've had patience and I didn't just jump on the latest wave a year and a half ago, because I'll be stuck with all these wheels in my house and then trying to sell them like all these people in the marketplace, which is kind of cool because there are so many wheels for sale right now. It's just nobody wants them, you know, and that's the problem too, because everybody's trying to sell their wheels to get a new wheel. So all the people that they would potentially be selling these wheels to are doing the same thing. Like, I don't want that wheel, I want the new wheel. So there's a lot of wheels out there for sale. It's a good time to come up on something if you're just looking to grab something just to have. Even I kind of dabbled with the idea a little bit. Even a friend of mine, he's selling his V12, and I was like, that would be a great wheel for Nair to have, you know, for his like main wheel. It does it all. You know, he has a Bluetooth, he has the lights. Not saying that the 9-bot isn't a good wheel, but I want to slowly get him off the 9-bot and get him on like a regular electric unicycle, because the 9-bot gives you a lot of room for error, which is great for now because he's still learning. But I still want to get him on like the Tesla, or, you know, something like my wheel. Maybe something a little bit lighter, possibly, depending on how much range you can get out of it. But nonetheless, I just want to move him off the 9-bot eventually, and eventually I will do that. But for now, I'm happy with his progress. I'm really impressed. Like I said, we went on a long ride that day, and he was happy, and his feet were fine. He didn't complain, and it was fun for me and him. And there's gonna be more videos like that in the future. So sorry, I apologize if they're not exciting, but for me, this is super exciting and it's fun. So I'm gonna still be documenting this stuff. But I hope everybody is having a good week out there. And again, my apologies for not making it to the Wheel Life rally. But like I said, it just snuck up on me, and you know, what am I gonna do, huh? But I will see you guys soon. I actually have another video lined up. It's been lined up for like 2 weeks. I just have to get around to editing it. And like I said, we'll get into the discussion of these wheels. So maybe the next video, we'll sit down and get back to normal, and I'll start ranting and raving and giving my opinions and my thoughts on what's going on. But for right now, this is Flip, EUC Chronicles, and I will see you guys in the next one. Be cool. Peace.